For page set 2, I have pre-cut the cardstock for the front and the back. And on the front side, we're going to make a waterfall for 5 by 5 photos. So you need a base piece that is 5 inches by 8.5. No scoring on this one. You need 8 for your flaps, your waterfall flaps, and these need to be 5 inch by 5.5. And we're going to score all 8 at a 1/2 inch on the 5.5 inch side. So go ahead and score all those. Again, the 5.5 in at the top, score at a 1/2 inch. We also need a closure piece, and this is 2 inches wide by 7 inches long. And I'm going to score on the 7 inch side, put that in at the top, and just score at a 1/2 inch. Okay, I went ahead and cut the pieces for the 2 full flaps on the back side of page set 2. So you need 2 of these that are 7 inches by 9.5. We're going to score the 7 inch side on both of them. So put your 7 inch cut in at the top, score at a 1/2 inch. And go ahead and do the second one the same way, and we'll set those aside for now. To create the waterfall, we need to go ahead and fold and burnish our score line. So this is the closure piece here. And then all 8 of the flaps. So just fold and burnish each one so that you have a 1/2 inch flap for all of them. Okay, so grab your base piece, the one that measures 5 inches wide by 8.5. So we're going to put the 5 inch in at the top. We're going to use this as a way to get started straight on these. Take one of your flaps and put glue on the 1/2 inch hinge where it's folded down. Like that. So see, there's your flap, there's the glue on the hinge. And then line this up onto the base piece right at the top and straight on the edge. This helps you to get it on straight. Lift up and burnish. Leave that one open. Grab another flap. Glue it the same way. Now then you will place this one right up against the cut line of the last hinge you just put down. So there's a 1/2 inch space in there. Burnish that, make sure it's straight. I like to bring this down to check. Okay, burnish that, lift up and burnish. And again, and you continue doing this on all of them till all 8 are attached down. I'm pretty sure that all 8 will fit. We'll just have to check when we get closer to the end though. Go. And fold these down and just do a double check to make sure that they're straight. Okay, all 8 are on. If you don't like this last little edge here showing, you can trim that off. That's about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to grab my trimmer And just put that in at about 1/8 of an inch. Oops. And check it and see how that fits. Okay, so that evens it out. And then for our closure piece, that's going to fit here at the bottom. So I'm going to put glue on the inside, just on that 1/2 inch right there. Flatten this down. Reach underneath the very bottom and put that fold line, and I'm centering it side to side, and burnish it right there on the bottom. And we do want a magnet closure, so I'm going to grab my magnets again. I have one here somewhere. So you need a plus and a minus. Attach the metal to metal. Pull the backing off of one. And I'm going to put it on the back side of my closure piece here. I'm going to drop it down, center it about 3/4 of an inch. Then go ahead and peel that backing off again on the other side. And then make sure this is all flattened out. And bring this up and attach. And then go ahead and add some score tape. Okay, so that's our waterfall piece, and it's ready to go into the page on page set 2 on the front side. For the front side of page set 2, I'm going to use this really cute paper with the tricycle and the locomotive and the airplane, the clouds and the sun. And I'm going to put this on the main page here. So this one is cut 6 3/8 wide by 8 7/8 tall. And so that's just going to attach down here. And we want to go ahead and attach it down before we do our waterfall. So I'll go ahead and use some glue. So I have my fold to the left here, my hinge, just folded under. So pay attention to the direction of your paper, so you don't want to put anything upside down. Okay, and burnish that down. And then for our waterfall, I'm going to mat, for now, just the front, the first flap on the front. And this one is cut to 4 7/8 by 4 7/8. So I'm going to take this tape off. And I'm using the locomotive and airplane papers again. And just line that up over that magnet. Make sure we get it straight. And burnish really well over where the magnet is. Okay, next for the closure piece, I'm going to use plaid here, which is the same plaid that's on the back of page set 1. Go ahead and glue this on. I wanted to, have some of the same papers that I used on the opposite page also on this page. So just line this up. and burnish. And then on the inside, I'm going to use the trains again. I'm going to put it on like that. So take this tape backing off. And burnish real well over the magnet. And then that closes up. And then I think I'm going to put this on the top. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put some matting on it, to probably mat it to give it some extra strength. So I'm going to wait on that and probably cut out another oval. So that's going to go there. So grab your page and right here is where I'm going to attach it. So I'm going to use glue here on the back base piece, quite a bit of it to make sure that it sticks really well. This glue does hold really good though. So I'm just putting extras. Okay, now then let's position it where we want it. About centered from side to side and top to bottom. And I'm going to burnish it down up here. And then I'm going to open it up and burnish between each flap. Make sure they're all stuck down good. Now what I will be doing later on with some scraps of the paper is probably adding little strips to the bottom of each of these so that when you look at it you will see different patterns of paper. Right here we need to burnish this part. Right here. Okay. So there it is. That is the front of page set 2. Also took a scrap of the train, the locomotive and airplanes and tricycle paper, and I cut a strip 1 inch tall by 6 3/8 wide, and this is what I'm going to put over this little gap. Now I made it 1 inch wide because I just liked it a little bit better with the wider width to show more of the little toys. So this I'm going to glue onto this flap on the back of page set 1 so that it matches the opposite page, so that I'm pulling in some of the patterns for both. So go ahead and apply the glue. It's coming along really cute. So now we're ready to work on the back side here of page set 2. So for page set 2, we have these 2 full flaps. We're just going to fold and burnish our 1/2 inch hinge. And we're going to check these. So I think I cut them too long. In fact, I know I did. So let me check my notes and then I will correct that. These should have been the length of this, 9 inches. So what did I cut? I did 9.5. And on my notes, I wrote 9.5. So we'll change that to 9 inches. Let me grab the trimmer. I'm glad that I cut it bigger or longer than I needed instead of the short. So I'm not wasting any paper. So open this up. And I'm just going to trim it down to 9 inch. There we go. For the back of page set 2, make sure that you turn it so that the hinge is here on your right. And I'm going to go ahead and place this first one down on the outer edge. So again, we're just going to use glue. And this is to give lots of room for photos in a small album. Make sure those are lined up. Let's burnish. The light went off, so I have to turn that back on. Okay, here we go. Open this up. Burnish right here. Okay, and then we're gonna, let's see, open this. I want this one here on the inside. So the glue again. And put the fold of the hinge right up against the fold line of the hinge that goes in the book. So line up your pages though. And this is where, if you need to, you might have to trim just a bit off the edge here if it's touching where they go together. So this will fold in and this will fold over. No, actually, this folds in, this folds over. So there we go. Okay, now we're ready to add pattern paper. And we're also going to be adding a magnet closure to make sure that it stays shut. So let me grab those and I'll be right back. I have to get some new magnets. Set 2 on the back side. Just flip it open so that your album hinge is here on your right. Cut 4 that are 6 1/4. I went with 6 1/4. Make sure that it fit in the space. 6 1/4 wide by 8 7/8 tall. So I have 2 out of this little baby pacifiers, rattles, blocks, buttons, and then 2 out of the Spectrum's Robin's Egg. I believe that's the color. Let me double check. Yeah, Robin's Egg blue. So 2 of that. So you have 4 the same size. And then you're also going to want 2 that are 3 3/8 wide by 4 5/8 wide. So we're going to start here on the front. And I'm going to open it up so that it's flatter. And just make sure you're not covering up your hinge. So you have to lift it up some. So I'm going to grab my glue and one of these pattern pieces here. And I'll put glue on the back side, the side that I don't want showing for now. My glue, I forgot and left my glue uncapped. There we go. Okay, that is the front. I want these 2 inside ones to be the stripe. If you wanted to go with the dot, you could do that. I'm going to use the stripe. Open this one up so it's flat so I can put the pattern paper down. This one takes the stripe also. And then we open this up, and right here in the center is going to be this pattern. So just make sure, yeah, your album is, this is the top of your album. Oh, I forgot to put my magnets on. So I'll have to do some decorative magnet attachment. So you should have put your magnets on before putting all the pattern paper down. So let's go ahead and get this one on because I've already got the glue going. And let's see what we can do. I did that in the first section too, didn't I? So this is going to go like this. So this definitely needs a magnet here. So I'll have to think about that. We're going to go ahead and put these on. These are going to be like photo mats. You're going to have one down here and one up here. And we may have to trim these just a little bit because I don't want them crossing over. So I'm going to cut them down. About, looks like over 1/4 of an inch. Let's see here. That works. One here and one here. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So the new measurements on this, the height is 4 3/8. Make sure that I want them to stay this width. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave these this way. So let's glue these down. And then I will decide how I want to take care of the magnets. I had them laying right here to put on, and then I totally forgot. But that's not the first time, so it'll be okay. There we go. Fold it in, and that way. Okay, so I'll decide what to do. Okay, I was planning to put belly bands here on these 2 pages, so I'm going to utilize those to get the magnets on here that we need for our closure. So the first belly band is going to go, they're going to go right in here, and then we're going to put the magnets between the cardstock and the pattern paper. So cut 2 cardstocks that are 6 1/4 wide by 1 3/4 tall, and 2 pattern papers that are 6 1/4 wide by 1 1/2 tall. So the first thing we're going to do is going to put our belly band on here, and you just put glue on the 2 short ends, and then we're going to look at this and sort of center it side to side right there and burnish those down. So this will leave it open in between. So let's make sure, grab my ruler. I want to make sure that I get these on straight. So just a line of glue on each short end. And this is what you do when you make a mistake. You work it in, the fix in with what you need to make it work. So, whoops. Make sure that's straight. Okay, and burnish that. So this is going to be the front flap. Now we take these magnets, the large magnets, I have two, put metal to metal, peel the backing off the first one, and I'm going to put it in about 3/4 of an inch. Peel the backing off the other side. And grab it and close this flap down, press, separate, and now we can cover these with the pattern paper. So we put glue on the whole piece of the pattern paper on the back side here. And if you hadn't seen me do this, you wouldn't have known that the magnets were not put on when they were supposed to be. And this actually may work better because you're not going through extra thickness. You just have it under this one layer here. So we'll burnish that, and then we'll put the other one on. And there we go. Burnish really well, especially where that magnet is. And if you need to add some more glue, obviously I need some more here. Some plenty of glue. And if you need to, just wipe that excess glue off. Okay, so that makes a pretty double spread, and then this lifts up like this, and this closes over. And there we are. So that is page set 2. This closure piece here, I want this little baby in the airplane right here. So to make it a little sturdier, I oval cut with my Big Shot die. It's not quite perfect, but I oval cut that, so I'm going to glue that right in the center here onto this closure piece. Right there. And then I also oval cut either this plaid or the stars. Let me see which one I like better. You're only going to see it when you're opening it, so I need to fit it right over that. So I think I'm going to do that one, the stars. Put that right over that ivory one I cut out of cardstock. There we go. And burnish that because it's really, the element is really too thin to use on a closure piece without backing it with something. So there you go. So now you can pull up on that.